Hey folks, and welcome back to Ricky's Reviews, where we'll be looking to sort the craft from the crap and hoping to find you your next best brew. A mini heatwave has descended on the city, and let's hope it lasts. So it seemed only right to crack out yet another ice cream. IPA. And this will in fact be our first revisited beer on the channel, as I can openly admit to having had this one before. Going through my Untappd the other night, I came across a check-in for today's beer. And boy, did I think highly of it that day. Granted, that check-in was from my birthday some 2-3 years ago. So perhaps I was caught up in the moment a little. Because if that review is to be taken at face value, it puts it up there, quite easily in fact, with some of the best beers I have ever had. So it seemed only fair and wise to give it another go, to see if it really is a special kind of beer, or if I was having just a special kind of night. We welcome back to the channel, Norway's finest, Lervig. So, here is that fateful beer, Orange Velvet. It's a double dry hopped milkshake IPA weighing in at 5.5%. They themselves describe it as a double dry hopped lactose IPA with shitloads of hops and a touch of tangerine and vanilla. So smooth, it's like liquid velvet. I can attest to that. I remember it being very, very smooth indeed. And I do also remember having lots of vanilla, but not a whole lot by way of orange. So let's find out if it truly is that legendary brew. Let's get pouring. Oh, it is very sweet on the nose, a little citrus in behind there, and almost somewhat marshmallowy. So yeah, that is quite sweet up top, and it tastes quite tutti fruity. And there is just a very, very subtle bitterness in the tail. Now it is reminding me of some kind of sweets I had as a child, but for the life of me, I can't quite think what. And although yes, there are definitely notes of orange in there, tropical notes are really what are leading the way. Now there is a very low level of carbonation, but I would like the body to be a little thicker. Now it is very smooth drinking, but you know what? I reckon they're going to put a few more oats in there to really bulk out that body, give it a real chewy mouth. Then this beer would be a real ace. And now we're down into the beer. Those big flavours of earlier, they haven't really developed much. If anything, they've sort of faded off a bit. It's now just a much tamer version of the earlier beer. And as those flavours are fading, that big juicy mouth is fading, and it's becoming a little drier, and it's even becoming a little watery. But it is a beautiful summer's day's beer. It's very refreshing, very sessionable, and you know what? I might go looking for another. So yes, it is very sweet, as you'd expect. Really did remind me of some of my childhood sweets. Just wish I could remember which ones. Either way, there is a subtle note of orange in there, but on the whole, it is much more tropical. And there is a subtle citrus bitterness in the tail, but it is very, very easy to miss. Now, I would have loved them to overload this with oats. Really thicken out that body some. And I think that maybe could have helped with holding on to some of those flavours towards the end. And really give it that big milkshake ice cream mouth. As it does just get thinner and thinner as the beer wears on. Although in that respect, maybe you could liken it to ice cream, as you need to get through it quick before it melts away. So yes, maybe I did go a little overboard on my rating, and let that be a lesson to all you beer taggers out there. A good night really can improve a beer. That said, it is still a very, very enjoyable beer. Of course, I'm left feeling a little bit disappointed, but that's purely on me.